Hi, it's Steve Parker with OperationLockdown.com in Amarillo, Texas. And what I'm going to demonstrate today is how vectors in programs basically lead to an infection on your computer. Vectors are basically vulnerabilities that we find in programs such as the Adobe Flash Player, Adobe Reader, QuickTime, Java, literally all the programs that plug into your internet browser. Could certainly probably have several vectors that have yet to be discovered or have already been discovered. There's a multitude of ways that vectors are found. One of them is that the manufacturer, for instance, like Adobe, may release updates to patch some vectors. A lot of times they're actually found in the wild by hackers themselves and exploited. Those are also known as zero-day vectors or zero-day exploits until they are actually patched. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll wait for the patch to come out and they'll reverse engineer it if it's actually found by the vendor, and they'll reverse engineer it, find out what the vulnerability is, and then write an exploit for it. And the purpose of that is knowing that everyone that basically has that product installed on their computer probably will not do the updates. In fact, the percentage of people doing updates today is relatively low, even though it's getting better from years past. So this has become such a popular way to install infections on computers that they have literally written kits. These are like kits that throw a whole bunch of different exploits at your computer. And if we take a look here on malware domain lists, we'll actually see some of these kits that are out there. For instance, there's a Phoenix exploit kit. Looks like there's a new kit on the block called Spy Eye. There are also the Neosploit kits, and I think I'll write about most of these on the vector page of OperationLockdown.com. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for just a generic. Here's one right here. It's a generic exploit kit. Grab this one real quick and copy that. I'm going to paste that. Now this has Internet Explorer 8, which some of these sites could be flagged already to Microsoft, where it will not actually show the website. Also, on this computer we have an outdated version of Java, and we have an outdated version of Adobe Reader, and an outdated version of Adobe Flash Player. So those are three vectors that we know are exploitable on this computer. And so what we're going to do, oops, let me get that again. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to see which one of those it exploits. And more than likely, if it's just a generic exploit kit, more than likely it's going to use Java. And Java is kind of a quick and easy way that with the Adobe Reader, a lot of times you use up all the existing memory and trying to do a buffer overflow, a heap spray, etc. It's kind of into some technical stuff there, but anyway, let's see what this one throws at us. I've got there's the Java icon down in the sys tray, and so we know that it's activating a Java applet at this point. And the antivirus is actually turned off, or anti-guard, I should say, the real-time protection and lockdown. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay, so now we've got a file that it is trying to execute. Our lockdown anti-executable by Phoronix picked it up, and it's basically asking me, notice that it doesn't do a scanning process here. It basically doesn't really care what the file is. It just wants to alert me that this website I'm on is trying to execute a program. And of course, by the looks of this program, it doesn't look like it's a reasonable application to install. It looks like it's really trying to probably hide itself a little bit. So of course we're going to hit deny here, and we'll see if it tries to toss anything else at us. Like I said, most of these exploit kits, yep, there it goes. So now that's two programs that it's tried to install. One of these may be a fake antivirus. One of them may be a Trojan downloader, so it can download other malware to the computer. There's a whole host of different programs that it can throw at your computer. That's two that it's tried. And so you can see this happens. Normally what happens here is that you basically are searching for a keyword in Google or in Yahoo, and you think maybe you've hit a couple of links, you haven't found anything that's really relevant to what you want. And as you're hitting these websites, if you're hitting one of these websites that may be linked to one of these sites that are on the malware domain list, then boom, all of a sudden now your computer's infected, and you're going, how did my computer get infected? I was just searching for something. Well, this is exactly how that occurs, and it happens every single day. It's become so popular that it actually has a name. We call it drive-by downloads, because they can download so easily and install themselves. It isn't so much the whole vector of getting the program on your computer, it's the fact that it can automatically install itself. And to make matters even worse on that is if you take a person that has a limited user right, like let's say you set your kids up on your computer and they're set up as limited users. Well, because Adobe requires and Java requires it to be installed at an administrative level, it runs at a system level. So if it's exploited, that means that once it's exploited, whatever the program that is running, it's now running at the same privilege as the installer for that. Which means that if you've got Adobe Reader on there and it's been installed by the administrator of the computer, and then a limited user basically trips over a website that's using an Adobe exploit, then it basically has rights now to basically take over the full system. So not even a limited user, even though they may not be able to install a program themselves on your computer, these can, and they can do it at a system and admin level. So, and that's very scary. What we're going to do real quick here is I'm going to run a scan on the profile, which contains all of the programs, all of the temp folders and so forth, and we're going to just take a look and see what we basically tripped over. Even though lockdown protects the computer from actually getting it executed, it doesn't actually protect the computer from the actual payloads being delivered to it. And that's really cool, in some instances, because what it means is that we can actually, and I guess because of the fact that I basically denied them, they did not get onto the computer. But that kind of gives you an idea of exactly what's going on the internet on a daily basis. Anyway, Steve Parker, OperationLockdown.com, Amarillo, Texas. We'll see you in the next video.